How's it going? Adam Drake here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the soon-to-be released Mugen MBX8R Eco buggy. So this is my standard MBX8 Eco buggy, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the layout for the electronics and kind of how we ended up where we did, and also after seeing some of the comments online when we announced the MBX8R Eco, just kind of want to address and talk a little bit about again, just the battery and ESC layout and why we ended up with the configuration that we did. So even though this is the standard or the current MBX8 Eco, it has the similar or same layout of the motor, ESC, and battery as what the MBX8R Eco is going to have. Now the MBX8R Eco will have a new battery tray, but the positioning of all the electronics will be the same as what my car currently has. So as you can see, I have the ProTech 4S Shorty battery. It's positioned all the way forward. My Tekin RX8 Gen 3 ESC is positioned just behind the battery, which is moved forward considerably than the stock mounting position with the stock MBX8 Eco tray. So what I did was I removed the stock ESC plate, moved the ESC to the battery tray, and then I have a little spacer here to stop the battery from sliding back and forth. But this configuration has worked really, really good. We've had a lot of success with it. And the biggest thing was, with this configuration, it's allowed us to be able to share and basically run identical setups between our electric cars and our nitro cars. On a nitro car, you have the fuel tank in the front. When it's full, the fuel tank is one of the heaviest components, or probably is the heaviest component of the vehicle. On the electric car, the battery is the heaviest component, so we want to have that up in the front left corner as well. And again, just trying to make it to where we can share setups between the two cars and be able to have success with both cars on the same type of track conditions. Now, we have done a ton of testing with different layouts, and I know some of the cars that are on the market now, they use the saddle pack configuration. We've tested that layout, but again, when doing that, you now have the weight much further back and also spread out a little bit more. And in some conditions that can work very well. And for some manufacturers, I'm sure it works very well, and they have their reasons for using that layout. For us, we felt like when we move the weight back, it has a little bit more initial grip or straight line grip, but the second the car starts to slide or step out when going through the turn, you have all this weight in the back that's going to have like a pendulum effect, and it's harder to control or catch that weight. So for us, the weight further forward, again, maybe a little bit less very initial grip, but we can change other things on the setup to get that initial grip. But then you have considerably more high-speed stability. The car just kind of tracks better on the exit of the turn. It doesn't have that wiggle or the rear end washing out. And Mugen is all about performance. We're a full-on race company, and if we felt there was more advantages to a different layout, we would do that. But it's also really nice that, so with some cars you may be able to run multiple configurations, but I feel like when you have the car to where you can run multiple configurations, you're having to kind of compromise all of those configurations, because things that have to come into consideration is when you flip the center diff and you move the electric motor to the front left corner, not all motors are the same size. Not all motors have the sensor wires come out in the same spot. They may crash into the steering post, so then you have to shift the center diff back, which then forces you to shift the batteries back. So for us, if we felt there was a need to be able to run saddle packs, we would have done our best to to put that into the kit. But let's face it, once you settle in and you have a configuration that works and that you're happy with, pretty much all the guys run the same configuration. And if you want to try or do something a little bit different, obviously you can modify stuff and make it different for yourself. But for us, again, all the testing we did, all the success we've had at the races over the last year has been with the more traditional style electronics layout with 4S shorty battery in the front, and then ESC directly behind that, and then motor in the standard position. With the new MBX8R Eco tray, you will be able to still use a standard 4S battery, a 4S low profile, or a 4S shorty. And again, just a really simple, clean layout that we've had a lot of success with, and that's what we'll be using for the MBX8R Eco. Now, I have a bunch of videos planned. I'm going to do a full build video just like I did with the Nitro car on the MBX8R Eco, and then I'll also do some shorter, kind of more breakdown videos explaining some of the new features and details of that car. But it's really cool having a Nitro car and electric car that have very similar driving characteristics, similar weight distribution, and it just allows you to really focus on setup all throughout the day or throughout a race event between the two cars, where you can share information to make sure you have the best setup for the finals for both of them.